Hey guys, Drew here with your 17th episode of Adaptive, the video show for disabled gamers. So today I'm kind of just talking about the way that different people play the game differently. And I think this is something really important to understand because I think everyone kind of has a certain mindset that there's a right way to play WoW and other video games. And I think this is a myth that really needs to be kind of forgotten about because it's a silly idea. So there's kind of two ways of looking at this, because there's kind of two different topics that are both related here. One is the way that people play in terms of their physical gameplay, the way that they um, you know have actions occur in the game. If they're a keybinder, if they're a mouse clicker, whatever it is. And I think while it's very important for everyone to strive to do their best, I think something that I've also seen is there's no one best way of doing anything. There's always a best way for you. And I've talked a little bit about this in the past, but I think it's something that really needs to be restated. It's the fact that there's countless ways of playing, and there's no real wrong way to play, as long as it's right for you. So I think that's something that really needs to be thought about by a lot of people, because I know a lot of people that play in ways that the general WoW community sees as being wrong, and this includes things like clicking buttons to cast your spells, things like that are supposedly the wrong way to play. And I know people who are better players than I do that play in ways that might be seen as wrong. And I think that it's something that just kind of a reminder to people that it's not entirely accurate to judge someone just because they play a certain way. So relating this to the actual in-game way that we play, um, how people play the game very differently and have very different goals when they're playing. Um, I know, talking about the game itself, I've got one of my best friends and my girlfriend both play the game, and I will say neither one of them plays and thinks about the same things that I do at all when they're playing. And this is people, I know them in real life. We get along very well, but we play the game very differently. My focus is always on end game content and rating. To me, my goal in the game is always going to be to kill the next raid boss, whatever that is. And that's something that for me is important to my gameplay. And it influences the way that I play a lot, because I know because of that I feel a certain pressure to perform, some of which is positive, some of which is negative. But I know that my friends don't always play that way. So sorry. So I know my one really good friend. He is very focused on transmog. That is pretty much his driving factor in the game. There's also achievements that there are certain achievements that if he's able to look at them, he is very driven by those things in the game. And I think that's something that's interesting in the way that he will have the same drive to play, but he channels it in a completely different way. Uh, just because we have different goals in the game. And because of that, he's got, probably 3 times the amount of mounts that I do. He's got 4 or 5 transmog sets on every toon. That actually, he might yell at me and say that that's not, that's an under exaggeration, that he actually has 7 or 8, and I wouldn't be surprised. So, it's interesting to see the way that people play the game differently, and I think that's something that people forget, especially the type of people who are generally going to be on WoW related websites and things like that. The type of people that go out of their way to kind of see the game outside of the game. And so because of that, I feel like this is sort of just something that people forget, is that not everyone is you. Which sounds really obvious, but it's actually not. Not everyone will have the same gameplay experience that you will, and because of that, you need to be accepting of other players. That being said, I think the trick to playing and enjoying yourself really well is finding like-minded players. But because of the nature of the game, there are random groups, there are pugs, there are things like that that you're always going to be interacting with people that are dissimilar from yourself. And I think, much like in real life, you need to be aware of other opinions and of other options that are out there, and you need to be accepting of them. And it's something that a lot of people forget. I see a lot of negativity in any kind of random groups, even when there doesn't really need to be. It might be something simple that needs to get fixed that isn't a terribly huge deal, and people will be up in arms about it and already, yelling, cursing at each other when a politely phrased, you know, at, sorry, politely phrased question to change would be a lot simpler. So I guess I know that my last two episodes I've kind of been talking in vague concepts, and I'm definitely gonna get away from that going forward. But I just kind of wanted these two episodes to kind of remind people that it's a game. It's something a lot of people forget. Um, it's a game. Um, it's you're trying to have fun. So don't let other people and other people's opinions get in the way of you having fun and enjoying yourself while you're playing WoW and while you're playing other games. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. I've been trying to do them a bit more frequently to kind of make up for the lengthy break. I'll be talking next time about more specific stuff. I promised that I would go over my UI, and I'm definitely going to do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I will catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.